Father, we thank you. We give you glory and honor. I ask, oh God, let the lamp burn this morning. Let your word come with so much simplicity. Take over my lips. Speak to your people directly. Bring wisdom. Bring knowledge. Bring power. Bring inspiration. Bring understanding. That everyone that will hear me today, Lord, will not remain the same. That their lives will be changed and transformed. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Praise the Lord. I've read 7 reasons why companies fail. 13 reasons why marriages failed. 10 reasons why individuals fail. And when I was reading all these things, I discovered that there were 3 things that was the root cause of the problem. If you get it right, you will be a success. If you fail it, you will be a failure. This week, in line with the teachings for the past 2 weeks, I'll be teaching on defining parts of success. Defining parts of success. If you get married without knowing why you are getting into that marriage will fail. If the marriage does not fail, that marriage will become a living hell for you. If you open a business without knowing why you opened that business will become a trap for you that will mess your life up for generations to come. If you enter into a profession without knowing the reason why you are in that profession will bring you frustration, it will bring you pain, and it will bring you disgrace. So there are 3 things that I've noticed that is the core of every man's life that fails or succeeds. The first one is purpose. The first one is purpose. What is purpose? Why does a thing exist? Why does a thing exist? If I ask you a question, why do you exist? Can you answer the question? If your surname is Chuku, why did God bring you into the family of Chuku? Why didn't you bring you into the family of Odera? If your surname is Adebayo, why did God bring you into the family of Adebayo? Why did he not bring you into the family of Pius? If your surname is Muhammad, why did God bring you into the family of Muhammad? Why did he not bring you into the family of Johnson? So the first question is purpose. What is purpose? Why do you exist? If you are married, why are you in that marriage? If you are a man, why are you married? If you are a woman, why are you married? If you are a child, why are you a member of that family? If you are a business person, why are you doing that business? The why answer is the first answer. The word life throws questions at us, but we as individuals must answer those questions. The way we answer it will determine if we will fail or succeed. The place we read earlier was talking about people that are envious of bad people and the ones that are patient that God eventually blessed. But I want to read something in the book of Judges. Judges chapter 7. Judges is after Joshua. Judges chapter 7. There was a man called Gideon that God gave a tax. And when God asked him to go forth, what happened? Thousands of people followed him. The Midianites were destroying Israel. They were killing the people of Israel. They took over their houses, took over their farms, took over their properties. They raped their wives. They killed their children. They captured their young men. They destroyed their livelihood. And while Gideon was hiding like others in the cave, God said, you are the one that will deliver my people. So Gideon made a call. When he made a call, multitude of people followed him. So in Gideon chapter 7 verse 4, I read, then the Lord said to Gideon, there are too many men. Take them down to the water, and I will sift them for you there. If I say to you, this one shall go with you, he shall go. But if I say, this one shall not go with you, he shall not go. So when Gideon made a call for people to join the army of Israel, thousands of people followed him. But God said, no. The people that are there, some will destroy you. Some will be the cause of the failure of the mission. So I have to what? Sift it. I have to separate it. I have to bring out the ones that are capable. Verse 5. So Gideon brought the men down to the water. And the Lord said to him, separate those who lap the water with their tongues like a dog from those who need to drink. And the number of those who lap the water with their hands to their mouth were 300 men, and all the others net to drink. Then the Lord said to Gideon, with the 300 men who lapped the water, I will save you and deliver the Midianites into your hands. But all the others are to go home. What is purpose? Purpose is vision. If a man does not understand his vision, he will not understand the team that is required. For you to understand the team of people you need, you must first and foremost understand the vision. You must know the purpose. Why do you exist? Why is this task important? What is this team meant for? So the first thing that purpose does is that purpose clarifies vision. So it answers the question of vision. The second thing is that it provides clarity on team, the number of people that are required to accomplish this purpose. The third thing is that it makes specific the skills that are required. So purpose is, why am I here? What do I or we want to achieve? How do we achieve it? Purpose asks these three questions. Why are you here? If your husband is called to be a doctor, and the vision of the family is to raise the best hospital in Lagos, and the man is embedded in everything that has to do with medicine, and the wife happens to be a nurse, but the goal of the wife is to be the best fashion designer in Lagos, that hospital will die. That hospital will collapse. Because the wife exists for something else that is different from what the man exists for. Because if you cannot answer the question why you exist or why this thing exists, then the other question is, how do I want to achieve it? You can't answer it. The first question is, why do you exist? Why did God bring you into this family? Have you seen families that are in disarray? Young boys come out of the university. They picked ladies from their group and they got married. At the time they got married, they were earning practically the same salary. They were doing the same thing. They have similar skills and talent. But one set in that group matured, grew, became very successful. The other set failed. Why are you in that family? Why did God make you a wife in that home? Why are you working in a manufacturing company and not an advertising company? Why are you a builder and not a tailor? Why are you a tailor and not a baker? Why are you a baker and not a miser? You must be able to find out, why do I exist here? What is the reason? that propels God to put me in this position. So the first reason why most people fail or succeed is because they understand or do not understand the question that purpose presents. The ones that are able to answer the question that purpose has presented to them, they become successful. The ones that fail the question that purpose dish to them, they fail as individuals. So, Gideon had a task. God said to him, no, the people in that stream, most of them will disappoint you. Some of them, when they see the Midianites start coming with their bows and arrows, what will happen? They will start running. And when they start running, they will put fear in the mind of others and they will run and abandon you. But take them to the river. I'm going to select 300 men that will be willing to die by the sword and die by the spear just to defend the nation Israel. And when these men walk with you, you'll be able to conquer the Midianites. And they picked what? He picked them up. So, if I come into a family where they are having problem, the first thing I need to find out is, why is the wife in that marriage? Why is the husband in that marriage? What do they want to achieve in that marriage? You know, people just come together without knowing the reason why they are there. Your friends are getting married, so you want to get married. So you get married, 5-10 years into the marriage, you are frustrated. You are not asking God why. You are not regretting to say, it could have been better I die single. Because why? The purpose question was not answered. I did not get married because the woman has a fine face or she has curves. I got married because the purpose question was answered. I am a pastor. The vision of our ministry is centered on selflessness. The first thing it does is that it takes away materialism. We are not driven by material things. So for me to fulfill that vision and accompany that purpose, I must get a partner that is not material driven. I must get a partner that can stay in a house of 50,000 where we have 1 million naira in bank account. And she will not be intimidated because she visited a friend that stays in a house of 350. Because if the purpose question is not answered, we can't work as a team. A family succeeds when the purpose question is answered. An individual succeeds when the purpose question is answered. If you are a man, you are a young boy, please hear me now. You must answer the purpose question before you get married. If you are a woman, please hear me now. You must answer the question purpose problem before you find a man. That thing must be like a mirror in front of you. That any man that comes to you, you must reflect him on the purpose mirror. If the man is not reflecting the purpose mirror, please walk away. It might be 6'2". It might have broad shoulders. It might be very romantic. It might be very accommodating. It might appear very rich. But your lack of understanding of the purpose problem will destroy you guys. There are little experiments we can do to find out if your family is a family of purpose. If you are praying to God to give you 300,000 naira to pay house rent, and 1 million naira come into the family, what do? Do you buy a new telly? Do you change your clothes? Wristwatch. The question is, was wristwatch and telly part of the goal of the family 3 weeks ago? When something comes into a family or to a person that has not yet defined purpose, waste becomes the order of the day. When a man cannot define purpose and answer the purpose problem, waste is inevitable. Waste becomes a norm in that family. So, most people have come to a point in their life where they are in disarray. The husband is angry, the man is hungry. The Bible said, can two walk together except the what? They be agreed. Which means He didn't say except they will agree. He said they be agreed. What is he saying? They have already agreed before they started working. There is a defining purpose that will guide the two of them before that relationship was what? Was established. I met a lady when I was doing pastoral course. Very beautiful lady. God-fearing. She could do evangelism. She could do everything. And one day we sat together, we were talking. And I asked her, what do you want to be in life? He said, I want to become a musician. I told her, that is the end of the relationship. Our purpose do not align. On the basis of purpose, we parted ways. There was no sentiment. There was no explanation. The purpose was clear. It was like a tag. I wore it as a garment to walk around. So I didn't waste my time in relationship. I come into a relationship, the purpose answer does not align, I walk out. There are some relationships that lasted for 2 weeks. Some lasted 1 week. Not because I want to walk out, but because the purpose question did not align. When I asked the purpose question, the person was saying something else that was different from my purpose. I walked away. I was listening to my father in the Lord saying something. He said, do you know this ministry could have been dead by now, or I wouldn't have gotten to this level of my life? He said, when I was about getting married, I had 2 ladies in my life. I was drawn to 2 of them. I was even drawn more to one. He said, but when I met a senior man of God, he asked me, what is your vision as a man? I told him, God has given me vision. This is what God has called me to do. And this is where I'm supposed to start up the vision. He said, go back and ask the 2 ladies what they want. So he asked the first one, what do you want? The first one said, I love to be a pastor's wife. I love the ministry. But in 5 or 10 years' time, I see myself settling in America, Canada, or UK. He walked to the second one. The second one said, I love to be in ministry. Wherever God directs us, that is it. That was the end of the matter. He knew who to marry. Why? The purpose question. So you must answer, why am I here? Why are you in that marriage? Why are you a husband to that woman? Why are you a wife to that man? Why are your kids in that family? Why are you working in that company? Why are you doing that business? If you are not able to answer that question, that is the beginning of failure. The defining part of wealth is established when a man can answer the purpose question. So what purpose does is that it brings clarity of vision. It helps you to establish your team. So you know who is going to fit in and the person that will not fit in. So Gideon was like a man that was going to a football pitch. But when he made a call, people that play long tennis followed him. Basketballers followed him. People that are into sprints followed him. There some footballers followed him. God said to him, no, you don't need a sprinter. You don't need someone that plays long tennis. You only need a footballer. He said, take them to the river. When you take them, I will pick the footballers for you. 300 men delivered Israel from the hand of the Midianite. Why? Unity of purpose, clarity of vision, focus, teamwork was established. If you team up with your wife and you have defined purpose, you can never fail as a marriage. Never. Never. The reason why some women say, my husband does not understand me, purpose is not defined. The reason why some men say, my wife does not understand me, purpose was not defined. Both of you are existing in 2 different planets, but you are living in one home. So your husband's priority is education for the family. Your wife's priority is investment. Both of you are chasing 2 good things, but your family will be in disarray. You know what? When you want to take your children to one of the best schools, your wife will see it as a waste. When your wife is pushing you to invest money to buy a landed property, you will see it as a waste. Because your understanding that intellectual knowledge is better than physical assets. Why your wife believes that physical asset is better than intellectual knowledge. Both of you are chasing 2 good things, but the family cannot hold, the center cannot hold. Purpose is not defined. So I've read every book on success, why people fail, why people succeed. I've come to understand that the first thing is purpose was not properly defined, either by the person as individual or as a team in marriage. The second thing is fear. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 7. Proverbs chapter 20. So, Psalm 20, verse 7, sorry. Psalm 20, verse 7. Fear. What is fear? Fear is things that appear in front of you that make you give up even before you start. Psalm 20, verse 7. I read. Psalm 20, verse 7 says, some trust in chariots, others in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord. What is fear? When fear comes to a Christian, the two things that the person needs to do to counter fear is what we call faith and trust. The first thing that makes people to fail is the question of, what if I fail? The question is that if you fail, so what? Some people have this reason. They say, what if I fail? If I fail, so what? Every man that has succeeded in life failed 1,000 times. A successful man, failure is not failure. Failure is understanding the way not to go about that thing. The second question that fear poses is, what will people say? Most people have destroyed their life. They remain in a hole by this question. What will people say? The question is that if people say what, so what? What will people say? The third one is that, what if I lose friends and family? If you lose friends and family during the course of the journey, and so what? Let me explain to you how this thing works. On Wednesday, we were doing Bible study, and I was talking to a few of the young men that were here. And I told them some of the decisions that I took. I said to them, the first thing I did was to cut enjoyment away from my life for 3 years. So what happened was, I couldn't wear the kind of clothes I used to wear. I used to walk to the boutique, buy shoes, buy some designers' clothes. I used to go to the fast food, eat whatever I like. So the first thing I did was to stop. So buying clothes from boutique, I stopped it. Eating from fast food, I stopped it. My recharge card of 2,000 naira, 2,000 plus, I reduced it to 400 a month. I eat one good meal once in the afternoon. Then at night, whatever I see, I eat. I did it for 3 years. So what happened? That 3 years, I emaciated. My physical quality and appearance dropped. So what happened? The first thing people ask, what if this fails? If it fails, so what? The second question, what will people say? People started saying something. Some of my friends started running away from me. They say things don't they hard for Paul, so they deserted me. Will I lose friends and family? Yes, I lost a lot of friends and family. Some people that used to call me stopped calling me because they felt the way I was looking that I would be begging them money. So they discontinued the relationship. You call them on phone, they will not. I remember putting a call across one of my friends. I was working in First Bank. We have made arrangement how to see somewhere in the island. It was earning about 60,000 working in First Bank there. I called him on Monday. He said, not a problem. On Wednesday, not a problem. On Saturday, I called him in the evening. He said, sorry, Paul, I have an engagement. Why? He was afraid. Maybe the reason why I want to see him is I want to beg him money. So, if you cannot answer the fear question, you cannot make up your mind that if I fail, not a problem. You will not be able to make any reasonable impact in life. You can't succeed as a person. You must be willing to fail if you want to find success. Failure does not define a man. You must be willing to fail. You must be willing to walk into a relationship. It's not working. After 3 years, you walk out. You must be willing to start up a business. It's not your part. You shut down the business and know that it's not your part. And people say whatever they have to say, you walk out. You must be willing to get into an investment and everybody is doing it, is working. Everybody in your family, they are all selling clothes. They are making money. You join them to sell clothes, but that is not your part. You are not making any improvement. You shut down, deviated from the family trend and tradition, and start something else, and your parents will abandon you and say you are a useless child. You must be willing to fail. If you fail, so what? Are you the first person that have failed? No. So the fear of failure is what keeps people on the path of struggle. So I said something to them. How many of you preferred to wear tattered clothes in your 30s, early 40s, than to beg when you are 60, 65? You must choose one. The problem is this, and I gave an analogy. What is the analogy? When God gives you a seed, the first thing the seed does is to grow roots, not to grow stem, branches, or fruits. So when you take a seed and you put a seed in the soil, the seed goes through the most difficult part of his life, which means going deep into the ground. It is painful. So as the seed is going into the ground is resisting it because the ground is firm. So the seed goes through a lot of difficulties, a lot of pains, a lot of agony, a lot of shame to find roots. Once the seed has finished developing roots, that seed can grow stem in 2 weeks. Some of them can mature in 1 year and start bearing fruit in 1 year. But the most difficult part is getting roots. I met a man, I told him I was hungry when I was a young boy. You know what he told me? He said, hunger is not a bad thing. It only make you slim. You will not die. The only way you can die is if you don't eat for 7 days. See, you have not eaten for 1 or 2 days, not a problem. You'll be slim, you're a shit, but you will not die. You move on. So, why is fear a problem? When a family has not answered the purpose question, then the second thing that destroys them is fear. What if we fail? What will people say? What if we lose friends and family? So what happens? You are believing God for a breakthrough. You want to pay a house, your house rent of 300,000 naira. You are staying in Self-Con. All your friends are living in 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom flats. God brings 1 million naira into your hand as a family. So what happened? Because of what people will say, you pack into 2-bedroom. Because you don't want to lose friends, you want to catch up with friends. So that, because some of them started avoiding you, they are richer than you, so you call them and they don't pick. So you want to come up so that you can fit in again. What happened? You can't answer the fear question. What will people say? Most people have been destroyed because of what people will say. Some ladies got married because of what their sisters will say, what their aunties will say, what their brothers will say. Some men are married today because of what people will say. Some people chose who to marry because of what will be said. I've seen ladies that have destroyed their life. You say, no, I cannot marry Fob. If it's not from my tribe, I cannot marry. Everybody around you in your tribe, you marry them, you will die poor. The guys around you from your tribe in your village meeting, they are all poor people, they are useless people. But because what people will say, that you went outside your tribe to marry, you married someone, you are trapped 10, 15 years, you are frustrated in life. Why? What will people say? What if I lose friends and family? The ones that break out are the ones that don't care what people will say. I'm not saying don't accept criticisms. I'm not saying don't listen to people. I'm saying if you understand purpose, you must be able to solve the fear problem. The definition of purpose, the clarity of purpose helps you to counter the fear problem. Once purpose is lost, once purpose is not in sight, the fear problem step in. A guy came to me. I asked him, how much are you earning? He told me. What are you doing? He told me. I said to him, stay with your wife in Selfcon. Don't rent a bigger house. Buy a car. Why did I do that? It was any particular amount of money. The wife was any particular amount of money. They were traveling towards the same direction when they are going to work. And each time the guy gets to the bus stop, there are hundreds of people by the roadside that are looking for lifts. So I said to him, if you take this bulk money that just came to your hand now as blessing, because sudden money just came, and you go and rent a 2-bedroom flat and leave the one room you are staying, then there will be a problem. Because the money that came was sudden. The source to sustain it has not been guaranteed. If you are earning 50,000, 300,000 are coming into your hand, you have not started earning 300. The only way you can say you have started earning 300 is if you can replicate it and earn 300 the next month. The upper month, you earn 300 consistently. If you cannot earn 300 repeatedly for 6 months, consecutively, then we can now say you are putting to 300. I said, this one is like magic. This one is just like a man that was walking under a mango tree and the wind started blowing and all the mango fell down. He started picking. He cannot tell me that he knows how to pluck mango because he might not have plucked mango before. So the guy accepted. They stayed in the Selfcon. Why did I say that? Your wife is not pregnant. If your wife gets pregnant, your wife will stay in that place 9 months before she gives birth. Then the child will grow for another 1 year plus before you guys start talking about another child coming. So the least you will stay in that apartment is 3 years. So why will you go and rent a house that you cannot guarantee the inflow? Because he was someone that listens. He took the money. They bought a small car. When he's going to work, they pick like 2 or 3 persons. The wife sits in front. So the people that he picks takes care of his fuel to work. So he has a car. He does not bother about fueling. Because why? The fuel is paid for. 2, he has a business that requires image. You have to create a certain image. So for example, if you are someone that is into business that requires image, so maybe you are into, let's say, building, you are into cooking, you are into interior decor or whatever. When you come to people you want to discuss business with them, and they are going to give you like 70% or 80% of the money up front to start up the business before you start, there are certain things they must see to trust you so that it will not run with away with their money. I said the things you are doing requires that kind of image. So when the person comes, you come out of the car, and he wants to give you 1 million naira to start up a business. Your car is worth like 800,000. You will not be scared that you run away with 800,000, 1 million naira. So the guy started there. Why was it possible? The purpose problem was what? Was the find. The wife did not come and say, this place is too small, it's 1 room, how can I be marrying children? If people come to visit us, people come to visit you once in a while, do they sleep with you? No. So, what if I lose friends? That thing will make sure that that family, but you know why? Most of his friends will abandon him. So, purpose, if you don't answer the purpose question, the next question that comes is the fear question. You will fail. The one I want to dwell on before I close is self-discipline. What is self-discipline? Transformation of you. If you want to become rich, you must be a rich person inside. Let me tell you one thing most people don't understand. You can't be rich until you are made rich. You can't be successful until you are made successful. You can't be great until you become great. You can't have a good marriage until you become a good husband. You can't have a good marriage until you become a good wife. So it is the becoming that brings the manifestation. Matthew chapter 7, verse 17 to 18. Jesus said, for you to have a good fruit, the tree must be a good tree. For you to have a good fruit, the tree must be what? A good tree. He said a good tree bears what? Good fruit. So what guarantees that the fruit is good is that the tree is what? Is good. For you to have an orange fruit, you must become an orange tree. For you to have a mango fruit, you must become a mango tree. For you to have pancane, you must be a palm tree. So Jesus said, the becoming is what guarantees the manifestation. Romans chapter 12 verse 2 said, by the renewing of your mind, we are transformed. So what is the question that self-discipline answers? The first thing is that it answers the question, are you able to control focus? Are you able to control focus? What is the focus of your family this year? What is the focus of your life this year? What is the focus of your business this year? What is the focus of your career this year? Are you able to control focus? So self-discipline, the first thing it does is that you must answer the question if you are able to control what? Focus. What is the focus of your family this year? Some of us wake up January, we shout Happy New Year. We write 25 or 30 goals that we want to achieve. After the end of January, the paper is missing. We can't find the paper. The goal the guy has written is missing. You can't find it. You know why? He hid it under the pillow. His children brought it out when they were sweeping. They trashed it and threw it away. There was no focus. The guy has no focus. Focus is like a magnet. So the question is that if you want to be self-disciplined, what guides you in disciplining yourself is not because you have power, it's because you have focus. So what controls your focus? So let me use this analogy. If my focus in the year 2026 is to buy a land in Ikorodu, and I've made my findings, a half plot of land is about 600 or 700,000 naira. Then I did a business with a person. The person was very impressed. As the person was leaving Nigeria, he said, Paul, come. I don't know what to do. I have a few things in my house. I have a Toyota Corolla 2004 model. I have some TV sets, one in the room, one in the sitting room. I have one deep freezer that is not good. I've sold everything, but there's just this thing left. Please take it. How many children do you have? You say 3. You say, take it. You need the car because at least when it's raining, you need to drive your kids around. If I don't have focus, I will collect the car and start driving the car. If I have focus, I will sell everything that man has given to me and I will buy a land. The car is not my focus for the year 2026. I can't drive a car. Am I against car driving? No. It's not just the focus for the year. So what will happen? I sell the car. I take the car. In short, the kind of person I am, I will not even enter the car. I will leave the car in the man's house and sell the car in the man's house and walk away. So I don't need to bring the car down for people to start asking, Paul, do you have a car or not? I will sell the car where it's parked, collect the money and buy the land. Why? When you answer the self-discipline question, because you must be transformed internally first. If you want to become rich, you must be a rich person. And how do I know a rich person? A rich person is a person that defines success based on the accomplishment of his personal goals. I want to recap. A rich person is a person that defines success based on the accomplishment of his own personal goal. Not your goal. Not your preference. Not what you want. Not what you believe in. It defines success. For him, success is defined based on his personal goal. Once he has achieved his personal goal, he's a successful person. So the first thing is that you must have the ability to control focus. So the question is that you want to be successful as a family, as an individual. What is your focus for 2026? If I ask you, can you tell me? And if you know your focus for 2026, the question is, the decisions you have taken from January till May, can they be tied to your focus? If I bring the decisions you have made for the past 5 months, can I tie it with your focus? Can I link your decision to the focus of your family, of your life as a person? Once you have mastered focus, the next thing it helps you is our ability to change habits. For you to be successful, your habit must be changing on a regular basis. Now, so they bomb me, you will die poor. That is my lifestyle. You are going to be messed up. Now, so will be for our family. You are not ready for life. You are joking. If you want to be successful, you must have the ability to change habits. Because as you go up the ladder of success, there are habits that is affecting you now that you need to change. When you move further, there are habits that is not affecting you now, but that will affect you when you get to a certain stage. So let me give you an example. You might be a kind of person that you are very calculative. You take your time, you make decisions, then you go. You have done it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You have been able to achieve some level of success. But there's a level you get to where you have to make decisions on your feet. Something happens. You need to think on the spot and make the right decision here and there. If you say, no, I'm the kind of person that take time to think things through, you will fail in that level. So you notice that as we go up in life, we keep changing habits. Because of what? Because of our focus. Ability to change emotion or feelings. The next thing you must master is the ability to change emotion and feelings. So the first thing I did as a person was, I had to decide to feel better wearing one trouser for 2 months. I have to feel better wearing 4 clothes for 2 years. I have to feel better wearing one wristwatch for 2 years. I was speaking to them on Wednesday, and I said something. I have 2 phones. One of the phones will be 6 years in August. This one. No, the other one. 6 years in August. That phone, I bought it 100 and something thousand naira. And this one, I bought it about 200 or 200 plus. This will be 3 years. And I asked them a question. If you combine the 2 phones I'm using, it's less than 450,000. Let's say, to be very generous, 500,000 naira. If you divide 500,000 by 6 years, it's less than 100,000. And I asked a question. How many phones have you used in 6 years? Some people have used phone of 3 million naira in 6 years. What is my focus? Do you know how I buy phone? I don't buy any phone I cannot replace within 24 hours. That's one of my principles. I do not buy a phone I cannot replace within 24 hours. My phone gets missing or damaged, I change the SIM, block the SIM, I walk into the next shop and buy it in 24 hours. My principle is that I don't use a phone that I cannot replace within 24 hours. That guy is what I buy. I don't. You know why? My business does not lie. If I'm into media, maybe like Shedrack, and people are into all this, yes, I can buy phone of 2 million, 1.5. It is my business. This phone, only thing I need it is to send email and text messages, make call. As long as the phone can make call, do those three things, that's what I buy. The camera is the best in town. I'm not a photographer. I'm not a photographer. The video is the best. It's serene. It's HD quality. I'm not into acting. I'm not a filmmaker. It's not important to me. It's not important to me as a person. I've seen guys that use phone of 3 million naira, but they trek. So you look at the guy has focus. What he does requires a phone to be successful. So he saves and buys phone of 3 million, 4 million naira that he's using. You see his laptop is almost like 2 million. The phone of the guy and his laptop is like 7 million naira, but he treks. It's not like he does not want to buy a car. A car is not his focus. The phone is using and the laptop is using is the source of his wealth and income. You are buying iPhone. You don't even know how to change the code. If your code suddenly get me, you can't open the phone. You have to pay somebody's money. You are buying a phone that 70% of what is in that phone, you are not using it. You just want to do. Say, we are the guests that is right now. Clock it. All those kids and useless things will just keep you trapped and messed up. You are clocking, you keep clocking, 5 years is gone. So, ability to change emotion and feeling. So, I don't derive my wealth from what I have. I derive my wealth, I don't derive my image or fulfillment from what I have. I derive my image from the ability to fulfill my goals and vision. Every year, I write down 5 or 6 things. The minimum that is achieved every year is 4. Sometimes I achieve 7. So I finish the 6, I go to. I have goals in this year. I've achieved 3 already. This is just the 5th month. 3 is already achieved. You must be able to discipline yourself, to be transformed, to become that thing that you want to be. So you must have a controlled focus. Controlled focus. I didn't say focus, I said controlled focus. You must have the ability to change your habit based on the requirement of what you want to achieve. The third, you must change your emotion and your feelings. You must not feel happy or feel bad because of what people are saying. No. Your happiness or your feeling should come from your ability to accomplish your goals and purpose. So these 3 things is the reason why people succeed or fail. You can sum it up to everything in life. 13 ways to be successful, 25 ways to be successful, 10 ways to be a successful person. These 3 things are the pillars, the foundation. You are self-disciplined, you can fight fear, you have a clear purpose and vision. You will succeed in life. Can we stand up to our feet? Please stand to your feet. Why is this important? For the past 2-3 weeks, Sundays, we have been teaching on things that has to do with success, wealth, and development as a person. We talked about the unending code of wealth. We talked about the principles of divine favor. Today we are talking about defining part of success. Why is it important? I've noticed one thing in life. As young people or as a young church, all of us here within our 40s downward, we have very bright future in front of us. Some of us is in our 20s. We cannot achieve what God has called us to achieve if we are not willing to change certain things in our lives. No man is successful because of how much he makes. That's it. No man is successful because of how much he makes. He's successful because of how focused and determined he is. There's something that I want you to change today, and that's the essence of this message. You must make some hard decisions this Sunday and decide to kill and stop some things. Do you know why I didn't make phone calls? I needed to rent a 3-bedroom flat before getting married. My salary was about 40,000. I was getting free money, 20-something thousand here and there. So I calculated it. The only way I can succeed is if I'm able to save 40% of what I get. So what did I do? I eat good food once a day, take any light breakfast, eat fried yam and plantain for 2 to 3 years. That's it. Now, when I did it, in 11 months, I rented a 3-bedroom flat. The first thing it did for me was it opens me up to greater height. So when it got to the time of buying a car with 118,000 naira salary, because I've done it to rent a house, I knew I could do it to buy a car. So I went through the process again. I bought a car. When I bought a car, the principle was now internalized. So I've not changed to become the person. So, if I see a thing in front of me, I don't say it is impossible. What I say is that, what I ask myself is, how long will it take? So, the question of a task in front of me is no longer possibility or impossibility, it's time, duration. Because why? I have come to realize that as a person, any man can achieve anything if truly they are focused and determined. We are like gods. Whenever you envisage, whatever you can imagine in your heart, through prayer and discipline, you can achieve it. So you must take hard decisions today. You are a lady, you want to get married. What is the purpose? If the man does not come for 1 year, please wait for him to come. It's not a must, you must be in a relationship. You are doing a business. The business is not working. You don't have the skills required, but that's a family business. Shut it down. Start up a business afresh that is in line with what God has called you to do. You have a dream this year. And the dream you have this year are things that cannot sustain your family long run. Some people bought shares of 100,000 last September. Today, that share is 1,045,000. And now person eats the 100,000 naira. You are doing business. You cannot tell specifically on daily basis how much profit the business makes. You have to go back home today, get a notebook, and write down every income that comes into your business and every expense. See, I wrote down to the level of pure water, 10 naira in my wallet. At that time when I started, I have a notebook that I transfer it to. If I spend 30,000 in a month, I can show you the breakdown of the 30,000 naira down to pure water of 10 naira. All expenses was captured. Oh, not one. If I give somebody 50 kobo, it was recorded 50 kobo dash. I wrote it back. I had a notebook. So what it does was, it opened me up. I could tell you where my money is going to, where my money is coming from. Every family has to imbibe that culture. Every person has to imbibe that culture. Because sometimes we say we are not getting something. No. If God opens your eye and you see what passes through your hand, you ask yourself, why am I still here? Why am I still here? Free 5,000 come into your hand. You now remember that people have not eaten fruit for 1 week. So you buy watermelon, you buy apple, you buy sweet for your children, you buy popcorn. If your children don't eat popcorn, will they die? If they don't take sweet, will they die? No. You buy those things, you take it. The kids want it. Am I saying don't buy it? Buy it. But let it be bought based on of facts. So, what am I saying in essence? We are going to pray. I just want to it's first of every month, of every year. New Year resolution. So it is very important. You must get the couples. And this thing can be used to solve any problem. My first 5 years of marriage was difficult. How did we solve the problem? I call my wife every New Year. I tell her, tell me 3 things I'm not doing. Tell me. Then I will tell her 3 things she's not doing right. The upper year will come. Say, if you said 3 things, you stopped 1. He said, no, I stopped 2. I said, no, you didn't stop 2, you stopped 1. This is the reason. I said, I stopped 3. He said, no, you stopped 1. This is the reason. So we do that. Now, what we noticed is that when we started doing elimination method, as we kept talking about it, we kept stopping, and after a while, it happened. Now, I also noticed something that when you have a budget, your wife knows what, because the problem in family is that you have a goal. Your wife did not buy into the goal. Something comes, becomes a problem. So you must understand that. So when you get home now, please sit down. This is just 5 months. Ask your family, your wife, what do we stand for this year? What do you want to achieve this year? Both of you will write it down and explain how you want to achieve it. Then you must make sure that every decision you make must be tied to that purpose for this month, for this year. That's the first thing you need to do. It is not a thing of quarrel. It's not a thing of... So the woman can even come out and say, no, our purpose this year is to buy a car. Don't argue. Allow her express herself. She might come and say, our purpose this year is to pack into a duplex. Don't argue. Keep quiet. Let her finish. When she's done saying buying a car, duplex, you as a man will now say, okay, we want to buy a car. Explain to me how we will fuel the car and how we will repair the car. So if she can provide how to fuel it and how to repair it in specific terms, not maybe 5 or 10,000. No, we are not using maybe. This is specific. So if she can say, I make 7,000, you make 5,000 naira. So we can bring 1,000 from you, 1,000 from here, and we can consistently do it. Then people can buy a car. A family that understands the purpose, why they exist, succeeds. It's very easy. It's very easy. It's not rocket science. It's not magic. Then the second thing I will advise you before we pray is that you must have a budget. Accountability budget. Any money that comes into your hand should be written down, and when it is spent, it should be written down. No money should come into your hand and get spent without being written down. Make it a habit. Every money that comes into your hand should be written down. So if you have 1,000, I want to go and buy mots, and that's what you have decided. Please, first of all, get somewhere where you can write 1,000 naira revenue. Then you now go and buy malt. You say 500 naira out of malt. We know what to do. When you bring out that book and read it after 1 month, nobody will talk to you. When I read my own, I say, Paul, so you don't get sense. Because I saw the things I was wasting money on. It was useless things. I saw that 70% of my salary was going on recharge card, fast food, buying clothes from boutique, rubbish things. I now sat down and said, wow, so this is where the money is going to. You will see, you will now know that it's not the devil. Most of us, everything that we do, sometimes people are shouting, devil, devil. The devil is shouting, leave my name. Take my name away from your mouth. You are the cause of it. So when you have that list and breakdown, you will see it. It happens. A friend comes to your shop. You dash 1 bottle of mineral. When you start writing those things down, you will now notice that sometimes you are dashing 5,000. Or people coming to visit. That's why the shop is not growing. Write down every expense. Has a budget book. Write it down. Even to the tone of bottled water, buy it. Write it. Pure water. You buy pure water, 10 naira on the street. Please write it down. I know what I'm saying. When you have mastered it, you don't need to. I don't write down pure water again and all that now. So what I do now is I just say miscellaneous expenses, 100,000 or 200 or 250. I classify it there and I spend within that budget. But at the time I was writing down even 10 naira, 10 kobo, I had to internalize it after some months and years before I could aggregate it. If you do these things, you will now notice that God is good and His mercies endure forever. You just notice that you start increasing in family and in life. Let's ask God for grace. Let's ask God for grace. Ask Him for grace. Ask Him for grace. Ask Him for grace. Ask Him for grace. The year is not over yet. We are just 5 months. You still have 7 months to make up, to catch up. You still have 7 months to catch up. Ask Him for grace. 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 Say, Father, give me the grace to take ownership of my life. Give me the grace to take ownership of my life, ownership of my family, ownership of my business, ownership of my finances. Give me the grace. Give me the grace. Give me the grace. Give me the grace, oh God. 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 One thing I want to say before I pray for you is that this thing we have taught is not to find out who is wasting money in the family and who is not wasting money. Because some people damage, they mess it up. So we write down, you notice that most of the waste is coming from your husband's side. You say, hey, what the pastor talk? I talk and say, now you the problem of this family. I talk and say, now you be the problem of this family. I talk and say, now you be the problem. Now what the pastor talk? Say, now you they waste everything. Or you not check when you start writing down, it's not your wife. You say, if I don't marry, I will not be Dangote. I will not be Dangote. No. It's not to find out who is wrong or who is right. It's to find out where the waste is coming from and cut it off and block it. So Father, say, give me the grace. Saladoshta vagaladandes. Lembre kalagadaboshta. Pastor Joseph, I need to come and lead us here. Just lead us for 5 minutes prayer. Let everybody stand up and pray. Ask God for the spirit. The 2 things we're going to pray for: the spirit of tenacity and discipline. The spirit of tenacity and discipline. Then the spirit of unity of purpose. Those 2 prayer points: tenacity and discipline, unity of purpose.
Can we begin to pray for the grace of tenacity, that this word I've heard, Lord, will not fall to the ground. As I've heard this word, I will put it to work. Can we open our mouth and begin to pray?